whitish look.
No, there is no barrow on Weathertop, nor on any of these hills. The men of the West did not live here. In the days of the North Kingdom, they built a great watchtower on Weathertop. Amon Sul, they called it. It was burned and broken, and nothing remains of it now but a tumbled ring, like a rough crown on the old hill's head. It is told that Elendil stood there, watching for the coming of Gilgalad out of the west in the days of the last alliance.
Gilgalad was an elven king. Of him the harpers sadly sing, the last whose realm was fair and free, between the mountains and the sea. I learned that from Mr. Bilbo when I was a lad. There's a lot more all about Mordor. I didn't learn that part. Ugh, it gave me the shivers. I never thought I should be going that way myself.
Going to Mordor? I hope it won't come to that.
Don't speak that name so loudly.
On the western flank of Weathertop, they found a sheltered hollow at the bottom of which there was a bowl-shaped dell with grassy sides. There they left Sam with the pony and their packs and luggage. On the top they found a cairn of broken stones had been piled. They were blackened as with fire. About them the turf was burned to the roots, and all within the ring the grass was scorched and shriveled as if flames had swept the hilltop. But there was no sign of any living thing.
Oh, well, here we are, and very cheerless and uninviting it looks. And no sign of Gandalf.
I wonder. Even if he was a day or two behind us, he could have arrived here first. Here, look at this stone. It's flatter than the others, and whiter, as if it escaped the fire.
Oh, there's some scratches on it. There seems to be a stroke, a dot, and 3 more strokes.
It could be a rune, a G rune. The scratches are fine and certainly fresh, but the marks might mean something. I should say they stand for G3, and were a sign that Gandalf was here on October the 3rd, 3 days ago now. It would also show that he was in a hurry, and danger was at hand, so that he had no time or did not dare to write longer. I guess that he was attacked on this hilltop, but with what result I can't tell. He's here no longer, and we must now look after ourselves and make our own way to Rivendell as best we can. It will take us a fortnight, and we won't be able to use the road.
Look! Look down the road there. See those 2 black specks going westward? And see there are 3 others creeping eastward to meet them.
Down!
What is it?
I don't know. Let me look again. Yes, the enemy is here, assembling on the road beyond the foot of the hill.
We found some firewood. I wonder if old Gandalf put it here. But hadn't we better clear out quick, Mr. Strider? This hole makes my heart sink somehow.
The road is watched, and the land beyond the hills is bare and flat for miles. Those horses can see, and their riders use men and other creatures as spies. They smell the blood of living things, desiring it and hating it. Also the ring draws them. Fire is our only friend in the wilderness. These riders do not love it.
Maybe. It's also as good a way of saying, here we are, as I can think of except shouting it.
The cold increased as darkness came on. Peering out from the edge of the dell, they could see nothing but a gray land vanishing quickly into shadow. Frodo and his companions huddled round the fire, but Strider was content with a single cloak and sat a little apart, drawing thoughtfully on his pipe. He chanted a love ballad of the meeting of Tinuviel and Beren as the moon began to rise. Sam and Mary got up and walked away from the fire. All seemed quiet, except that Frodo felt a cold dread creeping over his heart.
I don't know what it is, but I suddenly felt afraid. I felt that something was creeping up the slope.
Keep close to the fire. Hush!
What's that? What are those dark shapes? Oh! Oh.
I must put on the ring. I must put it on. I must put on the ring. Put on the ring.
The ring slipped on Frodo's finger, and immediately the shapes became terribly clear. There were 5 tall figures. In their white faces burned keen and merciless eyes. Under the mantles were long gray robes. Upon their gray hairs were helms of silver. In their haggard hands were swords of steel. Their eyes fell upon him and pierced him as they rushed towards him. Desperate, he drew his own sword, and it flickered red as if it was a firebrand. One of the figures, taller than the others, his hair long and gleaming, and on his helm a crown. In one hand he held a long sword, and in the other a knife. Both the knife and the hand that held it glowed with a pale light. He sprang forward and bore down on Frodo.
Oh, Elbereth! Gilthoniel! My shoulder!
Away, 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 away!
Even as Strider leaped out of the darkness with a flaming brand in either hand, Frodo, with a last effort, dropping his sword, slipped the ring from his finger and closed his right hand tight upon it. When Frodo came to himself, he was lying by the fire, which was now piled high and burning brightly. His 3 companions were bending over him.
What's happened? Where is the Pale King?
What do you mean, Master? We saw nothing but some vague shadow shapes coming toward us. Then you vanished, and a black shadow rushed past me. I heard your voice, Master, but it seemed to come from a great distance, or from under the earth, crying out strange words. Strider found you lying face down with your sword beneath you. That was a good while ago, and Strider's disappeared. I still have my doubts about him.
Sam!
There he is now.
Sam, I'm not a Black Rider, nor in league with them. I've been trying to discover something of their movements, but I found nothing. There's no feeling of their presence anywhere at hand. I cannot think why they don't attack again. Now, heat as much water as you can in those small kettles of yours and bathe his wounds with it. Keep the fire going well and keep Frodo warm. Sam, come over here. There seem only to have been 5 of the enemy. Why they weren't all here, I don't know, but I don't think they expected to be resisted. They'll come again another night. I fear, Sam, that they believe your master has a deadly wound that will subdue him to their will. Now, don't despair. You must trust me now. Your Frodo is made of sterner stuff than I had guessed, though Gandalf hinted that it might prove so. He's not slain, and I think he'll resist the evil power of the wound longer than his enemies will expect. I will do all I can to help and heal him. Guard him well while I'm away.